Why are you still burning? People of this world, listen carefully. You search for peace. You travel for peace. You build homes for peace. You gather wealth for peace. You seek relationships for peace. You ask others to behave in ways that will give you peace. Yet still the mind burns. Why? Because the fire is not always outside you. Much of the fire is carried within. You may escape one difficult person and meet another. You may leave one place and become dissatisfied with the next. You may gain what you desired and immediately fear losing it. You may finally receive praise and then spend your days protecting the image others have of you. So understand this. Changing the world around you can sometimes be necessary. But changing circumstances alone cannot extinguish the fires of the heart. If the fire travels with you, wherever you go, there it burns. The world is burning. The eye sees a beautiful form. Immediately the mind says, I want it. The ear hears unpleasant words. Immediately the mind says, I hate this. The mind remembers something from years ago. Immediately anger returns as though the event happened today. A person who hurt you may be sleeping peacefully while you lie awake burning with resentment. Who then is being punished? You may say, they made me angry. Look carefully. Another person may have provided the condition, but the fire is now burning in your own mind. This is why the wise person investigates the fire rather than merely blaming the spark. Greed burns, hatred burns, delusion burns, jealousy burns, fear burns, craving burns, possessiveness burns. And yet people decorate these fires and call them life. The fire of wanting. Consider desire. There is nothing strange about experiencing pleasant sensations. A pleasant taste arises, a beautiful sight appears, a kind word is heard. But ignorance transforms simple experience into bondage. The mind says, more, then, again, then, I need this, then, I cannot be happy without this. Now pleasure has become a chain. You believe you are chasing happiness, but often you are chasing relief from craving. Look closely. Before obtaining the desired object, there is agitation. I must have it. When you obtain it, there is temporary relief. Then the mind becomes accustomed to it. Soon another desire appears, and the chase begins again. Is this freedom? A thirsty person drinking salt water may feel moisture on the tongue, but thirst only deepens. So too, craving promises just one more thing, but it never says, enough. What you love will change. Now consider attachment. You love someone. There is nothing wrong with loving kindness. There is nothing wrong with compassion. But attachment says, you must remain as I want you to be. A child grows, a parent ages, a partner changes, a friend moves away, a body becomes sick, a face once young becomes old, and the mind cries, no, not this. But did nature ever promise you permanence? Did the body sign a contract saying, I will never age? Did those you love promise, I will never change? Did life promise everything you cherish will remain forever? No. The suffering comes not merely because things change. Suffering deepens because the mind demands that changing things do not change. See the difference. You are holding a hot coal. Suppose someone insults you. You remember the words for one day, then 1 week, then 10 years. Every time the memory appears, anger arises. The person may have spoken once, but you repeat the injury 1,000 times within yourself. You say, I will never forgive, and so you continue holding the burning coal. You hope somehow that your pain will injure the other person, but whose hand is burning. Letting go does not mean saying that harmful actions are acceptable. Wisdom does not require foolishness. You may need distance. You may need boundaries. You may need to prevent further harm. But hatred is not protection. Hatred is another wound. Train instead, my mind will not become like the mind that harmed me. If another speaks harshly, you do not need to become harsh. If another acts without compassion, you do not need to abandon compassion. If another carries fire, you do not need to take the fire from their hands and place it inside your own heart. When anger arises, when anger appears, do not say, "I am anger." Know instead, anger has arisen. This distinction is powerful. If you say, "I am angry," the mind immediately builds a person around the emotion. My anger, my reason, what they did to me. But if mindfulness knows this is anger, then anger becomes something observed, and whatever can be observed can be understood. Notice the body, heat, tightness, the jaw hardens, breathing changes, thoughts accelerate. The mind begins creating arguments with people who are not even present. Observe, do not feed it. Every fire requires fuel. Anger feeds on repeated thought. Craving feeds on fantasy. Fear feeds on imagined futures. Jealousy feeds on comparison. Remove the fuel, and even a great fire eventually dies. The fire of comparison. You look at another person's life, their house, their body, their success, their children, their wealth, their recognition. Then the mind asks, why not me? Be careful. You have now handed your peace to comparison. There will always be someone with more. There will always be someone with less. If happiness depends on being above others, you will never rest. Even when you rise, you must constantly look behind you. Who is catching up? Who is becoming more successful? Who receives more praise? This is not peace. This is exhausting. Instead, ask, what is the condition of my own mind? Is greed decreasing? Is hatred decreasing? Is delusion decreasing? Is compassion growing? Is mindfulness growing? Is wisdom growing? These are better measures of a life. Praise and blame. People praise you, you become excited. People criticize you, you collapse. Then your mind is being carried by the mouths of others. Today they call you wonderful. Tomorrow they may condemn you. Today they remember you. Tomorrow they forget you. How many generations have lived before you? How many were praised? How many were criticized? Where are those words now? Gone. So when praise comes, know, this is praise. When blame comes, know, this is blame. Do not build your identity upon either. Receive useful criticism with wisdom. Discard malicious speech without hatred. Remain steady. The mountain does not chase every cloud passing above it. The body you defend so fiercely. Look at the body. You spend enormous effort protecting its appearance. You compare it, decorate it, feed it, wash it, treat it, photograph it, fear what others think of it. But can you command it, do not grow old? Can you say, remain young forever? Can you order, never become sick? Can you command, do not die? If the body were truly under complete ownership, it would obey. Yet it changes according to conditions. So care for the body. Do not despise it. Use it wisely. But do not mistake what changes for something permanent. The body is a vehicle for practice. Do not spend the entire journey polishing the vehicle while forgetting the destination. Even the mind changes. A thought appears, then disappears. A feeling arises, then changes. Happiness comes, happiness goes. Sadness comes, sadness goes. Confidence comes, confidence goes. Fear comes, fear goes. Yet when a painful state arises, you say, this will never end. But where is yesterday's anger now? Where is the fear you had 10 years ago? Where is the joy you experienced last month? Conditions arose. Conditions changed. Conditions ceased. Learn from this. Do not believe every emotion merely because it is intense. Intensity is not permanence. This is mine. Much suffering gathers around 3 ideas. This is mine. I am this. This is myself. A possession disappears, and you feel diminished. Someone criticizes your profession, and you feel personally attacked. Someone challenges your belief, and you feel threatened. Why? Because identification has occurred. The tighter the identity, the easier it is to wound. See experiences as experiences, form as form, feeling as feeling, perception as perception, mental formations as mental formations, consciousness as consciousness. They arise according to conditions. They change according to conditions. Do not cling to what cannot remain. You do not have to believe every thought. People believe their thoughts far too quickly. A thought says, they do not respect you, and anger begins. A thought says, something terrible will happen, and fear begins. A thought says, you will never be happy, and despair begins. A thought says, buy this and you will finally feel complete, and craving begins. But thoughts are also conditioned phenomena. A thought arising in the mind is not a command from the universe. Know it, examine it, let it pass. A bird flies across the sky. The sky does not chase it. Learn to become like the sky. The middle way. Do not think freedom means destroying all pleasant experience, and do not think spiritual practice means torturing the body. Both indulgence and self-mortification miss the path. The awakened one discovered the middle way, a path of understanding, right view, right intention, right speech, right action, right livelihood, right effort, right mindfulness, right concentration. This is not merely a philosophy to admire, it is a path to practice. Right speech before you speak. Before speaking, ask, is it true? Is it beneficial? Is this the right time? Is my intention wholesome? Many fires in families begin with one sentence spoken without mindfulness. A word may take 2 seconds to say and 20 years to repair. Once released, speech cannot always be retrieved. So guard the tongue, not from fear, but from compassion. Sometimes silence is wiser than winning an argument. Right action, what you do, matters. Do not seek peace while creating suffering for others. You cannot deliberately harm beings and expect the mind to become serene. You cannot live dishonestly and expect deep tranquility. Conduct matters because every action conditions the mind. When you lie repeatedly, the mind becomes accustomed to deception. When you harm repeatedly, the mind becomes hardened. When you act compassionately, compassion becomes easier. You are not merely performing actions. Actions are shaping the person who performs them. Right effort, guard the gate. Do not wait until greed becomes enormous. Do not wait until anger becomes uncontrollable. Train early. When an unwholesome state has not yet arisen, guard the mind. When it has arisen, abandon it. When a wholesome state has not arisen, cultivate it. When it has arisen, develop it. This is intelligent practice. A farmer does not wait for weeds to cover the entire field before noticing them. Mindfulness. See before you react. Mindfulness creates a sacred space between experience and reaction. Someone insults you. Normally, sound to anger to reaction. With mindfulness, sound to awareness to understanding to choice. That small space can change an entire life. A marriage can be protected in that space. A friendship can be protected. A child can be protected from an angry parent. A harmful action can be prevented. A lifetime of regret can be avoided. Do not underestimate one mindful moment. Craving is not love. Understand this carefully. Craving says, I need you to make me happy. Loving kindness says, may you be well. Craving says, you belong to me. Compassion says, I care for your welfare. Craving fears freedom. Love does not imprison. Many people call possession love. Then, when the other person changes, jealousy, control, and anger appear. Ask yourself, do I love this person, or do I love what they provide to my sense of self? This is difficult Dhamma, but liberation requires honesty. When fear comes, fear lives largely in the future. What if? What if I lose this? What if they leave? What if I fail? What if I become sick? What if I die? Some preparation is wisdom, but endless mental rehearsal of suffering is not preparation. Come back. Feel this breath. Know this body. Know this moment. Right now, what is actually happening? The mind often suffers tomorrow's pain today, then suffers again if tomorrow arrives. Do not pay twice. Death is not a morbid teaching. People avoid remembering death because they think it is depressing, but properly understood, remembrance of death brings urgency. If you knew you had only 1 year, would you continue the same hatred? If 1 month, 1 week, 1 day, would that argument still matter? Would you postpone kindness? Would you delay practice? Would you continue collecting things you do not need? Death teaches. Do not waste this life. This human life is an opportunity. You have encountered the Dhamma. Do not treat this lightly. Many beings spend their lives completely absorbed in survival, pleasure, fear, aggression, and confusion. You possess the capacity to listen, to investigate, to practice. Do not say, "I will practice when I am old." Old age is not guaranteed. Do not say, "I will meditate when life becomes quiet." Life may never become quiet. Practice within your present conditions. This breath is available now. Mindfulness is available now. Kindness is available now. Restraint is available now. Wisdom can begin now. Do not worship the finger. If a teacher points toward the moon, do not spend your life worshiping the finger. The purpose of Dhamma is not merely to admire the Buddha. The purpose is to see what he pointed toward: impermanence, the arising of suffering, the ending of craving, the possibility of release. Respect for the Buddha becomes meaningful when his teaching enters your conduct, when anger decreases, when greed decreases, when delusion decreases, when compassion grows, when mindfulness grows, when wisdom grows. That is homage through practice. How the fire goes out. A fire does not disappear because you shout, "Stop burning." It disappears when the conditions sustaining it cease. So too with suffering. Do not merely command yourself, "Be happy." Understand causes. If hatred is being fed, remove its fuel. If craving is being fed, understand its object. If jealousy is being fed, stop comparison. If anxiety is being fed, return to direct experience. If delusion is being fed, develop wisdom. The Buddha's teaching is a teaching of causes and conditions. Understand the cause, and transformation becomes possible. Nibbana, the cooling. What happens when greed no longer burns, when hatred no longer burns, when delusion no longer burns? There is cooling, peace, release. This is why the path is not about creating a more impressive identity, not becoming a spiritual person, a wise person, a superior Buddhist. That is merely another identity to defend. The path is about relinquishment. Less greed, less hatred, less delusion, less clinging, less becoming, until nothing remains that can bind the liberated mind. Closing, put down the fire. So today, look within. What fire are you carrying? Anger toward someone? Fear of the future? Craving for recognition? Jealousy? Possessiveness? Regret? A wound you continually reopen. Ask yourself, must I continue carrying this? You may have carried it for 20 years. That does not mean you must carry it tomorrow. Put down what can be put down. Understand what must be understood. Forgive where forgiveness is wise. Set boundaries where boundaries are necessary. Act compassionately. Speak truthfully. Guard the mind. Practice mindfulness. Develop wisdom. And remember, The person who insulted you cannot enter your mind and maintain anger there. The object you desire cannot force craving to continue. The past cannot physically return and imprison you. These fires survive because conditions continue feeding them. See the conditions. Remove the fuel. Let the fire cool. Walk the noble eightfold path. Not tomorrow. Not in another lifetime. Not when everything becomes perfect. Now, this breath, this mind, this precious human life. Walk diligently, because what arises passes away, and because it passes away, freedom is possible. May hatred be extinguished. May greed be extinguished. May delusion be extinguished. May the fires of suffering grow cool. May wisdom arise. May compassion arise. May all beings discover the peace that does not depend upon possessing, controlling, or becoming. May all beings move toward liberation.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Tingling Nirvana. Timeless Dhamma for a peaceful world. May all beings be free from suffering.